How do seasonal changes impact rental demand?
So during the summertime, everything rents, and it's not that it doesn't take a whole lot to do. It's just little things that you do through the process.
All right, Matt, let's keep rolling right along. Now, let's talk about seasonal fluctuations. How do seasonal changes impact rental demand and pricing for oceanfront condos right here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina?
So during the summertime, everything rents. It doesn't matter what you have, it rents. During the spring and fall, kind of the same way. Wintertime, that's where you really want to make your unit look nice. You want to grab people's attention because you want it, whatever you can do to get somebody to stop scrolling.
Yep. It's too simple, too easy, because the competition is going to be more fierce during that wintertime. Everybody wants their units rented during the non-peak season, so you gotta be a notch above the rest. And in some of my other videos, I think I have one on Airbnb hosting tips. You definitely want to check that video out, and just you want to make sure that you're following some solid and sound advice. You want to make sure it's modern looking inside, it's updated, it's trendy, and generally people might be they might dislike having to make their unit trendy and keep up with but that's what people are renting.
Right.
So that's how the game works.
And it's not that it doesn't take a whole lot to do. It's just little things that you do through the process.
Yeah, super easy, super simple. Can you shed a little bit of light real quick on any little thing? Like, is there certain paint colors you're using? Are you?
So there are certain paint colors. I use rock candy. I use from Sherwin-Williams eggshell. Since it's easy to wipe down and it really pops in the pictures.
Yeah.
One of the things while I'm here in town, I'm repainting the white parts of the furniture because you can see where people put their feet on the furniture and want to make them pop.
Yeah.
And so,
just any kind of small touches that can give
small
you.
touches.
Yep. Telescope on the balcony so that way people can drink their wine and spend a romantic evening looking at the stars.
I thought about that. But
you know what I mean? There's all kinds of little things that you can do to give you a notch above what your competition's doing.
Right.
Stay tuned, because in the rest of the video, have you ran into any kind of major insurance problems protecting oceanfront condos from hurricanes and severe weather? You really do anything?
Bring in the chairs.
Basically, they don't want to live in a place where other people can tell them what to do.
Right.
Insurance considerations. Let's kind of explore specific insurance needs and the challenges for oceanfront condos investors, specifically in a coastal area like Myrtle Beach. Have you ran into any kind of major insurance problems?
Not at all.
Now, there's all kinds of talk about all the insurance hikes and...
Yeah, so with the HOA, so with the insurances going up, the HOAs did go up a little bit, and the people, and that's what gave certain people an opportunity to buy, because some people who have bought their property, is badly managed and not rented well because of the management company, and they were still making profit, but they were making a little bit of profit. That with the insurance going up,
it ate through that little bit of profit,
and that's where if they need to be, they need to pop on Airbnb, and they need to be managed well.
Yeah, and guys, again, you can choose a property manager all day long that doesn't do a good job. I mean, that's a legitimate thing,
right?
And they're still spending your money,
Right.
They're getting your cash. So, I mean, and again, I'm going to tell you always to self-manage, because it's a little bit of work as you're getting started, but honestly, it's routine and it's systems, and you should be able to manage that with relatively a low time commitment after you've got it up and running. Anyway, so moving right along, hurricane preparedness. Talk about strategies for preparing for protecting oceanfront condos from hurricanes and severe weather. You really do anything?
Bring in the chairs.
I
tell the guests to bring them in.
Did you hear that, guys? It's that simple and that easy. He brings the chairs in off the balcony.
I usually try to come down here to watch the hurricane.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
That's cool. I do want to parlay real quick back for a second on insurance. some oceanfront condos saw an increase of like $81 a month for insurance. Other ones saw $300 and something a month.
Right.
Again, it's going to be about picking the right resort. You're going to be able to do that when you hire a solid and professional agent. It's going to look through the meeting minutes. It's going to check the HOA budget. It's going to do the deeper dig into the property to make sure that you're making a sound choice. The insurance, it obviously doesn't scare you. The profits are there if you do this right and do it well. So again, I know there's all kinds of major information online right now about the insurance hikes and this and that and the other, but it's honestly, if you have a sound business in place, then you shouldn't have anything to worry about.
Right.
Yeah. Now, association rules and regulations. Like, dive into the rules and the regs set by the condos. How do they impact you as an investor? Do you have any kind of major?
So I don't really have any problems with the HOAs or the rules. Basically, everybody here understands that it's going to be a short-term rental. They're not. It's not like a community where they're, trying to fight it. They embrace it. They know that's what pays their the HOA bills and everything. So
pays their bills.
So a lot of communities do try to fight Airbnbs. Not here.
Not here. So, guys, he made it plain, simple, and clear. You'll often hear people talk about, well, I don't want to live in a place. I saw a comment on my YouTube or something, or a short or something I did, and the person, basically, they don't want to live in a place where other people can tell them what to do.
Right.
Well, at the same token, can you speak to that?
So one of the things is, all right. So I have lived in an area with no HOA, and when my grass got over 8 inches, the police came knocking on my door and said, "Hey, with your grass over 8 inches, you can get a ticket." So somebody's still there to tell you what to do. But overall, the HOAs understand these are short-term rentals. They, if you didn't have an HOA and you were to pay all your insurances, your electric bill, your water bill, all the amenities, and protect the bill, you would pay a lot more. You're getting bulk pricing.
That's exactly right. So the HOA is actually saving you money.
Right.
Yeah. So, and so you've never ran into any kind of craziness where the HOA regulations impacted you from making money, right?
Right now.
Yeah. So you've heard it right here, guys. Look at what's coming up next.
Hilton just announced what was a $100 million project. I mean, I'm sitting on a good amount of equity now just because of the appreciation.
Aren't you concerned about, like, what if the bottom drops out or we hit some kind of major recession? All right, so environmental sustainability. Discussing the efforts or strategies that an investor can employ, to make their property more environmental friendly. Is there any kind of, obviously, aside from, your Oceanfront Beach Act and the stuff that we obviously abide by here when you purchase an oceanfront condo, is there anything that comes to mind as far as helping your property be more environmentally friendly? Is there anything you do with your guests?
Not that I can think of.
No, literally. Enjoy the beach, right?
Right.
Don't litter while you're on the beach.
Right.
Don't throw trash off the balcony. Okay, so well, let's talk luxury market versus budget market. Can we kind of talk through about your experiences and challenges on investing in a luxury oceanfront condo versus, a more budget-friendly option?
So I have a couple of friends who bought luxury condos here. They rent very well. They photograph very well. The thing, your clientele is totally different. They are a little needier because they are paying the luxury pricing.
Yeah.
So they do expect more. I personally shoot for the median family household, the median income family, not the luxury.
Yeah.
It's a lot less complaints. They really appreciate what it is, even if I feel like it's a condo that, hey, this is all right, they enjoy it.
Yeah, so he's giving you a secret right here, guys. Now, for somebody that is interested in investing in a luxury condo because they plan to use it for their own lifestyle and their own benefit, that might not be the route to go. However, for someone who's interested in obviously making a decent profit and having less complaints, then that median area is probably where you want to be.
Right.
Okay, local attractions and amenities. Basically, are there any nearby attractions, amenities, or developments that impact the desirability of your units?
So I used to try, originally when I got into this, I was focused, how close can I get to the boardwalk? How close can I get to Broadway at the beach? Now, I don't feel like there's as big of an impact. I've been buying a little further away from that, and the numbers are kind of just as good. Some people want to be closer to Barefoot Lake, and so some people, just want to be rural, kind of at a resort by themselves. So I don't really, especially with now people can Uber anywhere. I don't feel like the location is as demanding as it used to be.
Here we go, guys. You heard it straight from the horse's mouth. So long-term versus short-term rentals. Can you kind of walk me through, obviously, you going through this process yourself as an investor, you probably tossed around doing long-term single-family homes versus Myrtle Beach Oceanfront Condos. Kind of walk me through your process there and your thoughts on that.
So when I got into this 8 years ago, I had 2 long-term rentals. And once I got a taste for the short-term rentals, that's how I bought a couple more units. I offloaded my long-term rentals. And I was like, this is where the money is.
Yeah.
And so I offloaded them, bought a couple more, and then after a couple years of appreciation, I did a cash out refi, pulled out some money, bought a couple more, and that kind of, I've used real estate to kind of buy real estate.
Yeah, very, very smart. And do you mind shedding any light on that process a little bit?
So, well, just
like what you did. What did you do?
So, I sold our first primary house. The wife and I, and I think it was one newborn baby and a dog, moved into an apartment just so we could buy the first condo.
Gosh, that's awesome.
Afterwards, we once we were able to show cash flow, we were able to use the cash flow to buy our next house. And
the cash flow off the oceanfront condos.
Yeah,
smart.
And so we were able to get a pretty nice house with the cash flow of my full-time job at the time, which was before mortgages. The short-term rental helped me get into mortgages because I got to a point where all my bills could get covered by the Airbnbs. Why am I working for the man? And,
yeah.
And so I shifted and wanted to learn more about how can I buy more.
Yeah.
And that's why I got into mortgages, really kind of for me, but now I'm helping others.
Yeah, absolutely. Wonderful. Excellent story. So basically, kind of walk me through 5 years up the road, or 3 years up the road. Once you had a little bit of equity with properties, you did what now? You did a cash out refi?
Right. So I once I had some equity in several of the properties, I wanted to buy a couple more properties. So I pulled out the equity, refinanced. Basically, yes, a lot of people, they don't just restart the 30 years, but it restarted my 30-year mortgage on these. But it did lower my payment because where I was, now it's restarting it. But it lowered my payments. I pulled some cash out. I did this on a couple different properties. I took that equity and I put 25% down here, 25% down here, and I was able to, I got up to 14, and then I sold 2.
Man, excellent strategy. All right, basically, do you have any local community involvement where, you're kind of giving back, to support local causes at all? I mean, have your units enabled you to be more charitable?
So I did do a fundraiser recently where basically it was an auction, and all the funds from the auction went to a nonprofit organization. And one of the condos, I gave them a free week in the condo.
Super cool. So basically going down this route has enabled you to give back.
Right.
Which is super cool. And do you hope to expand that more in the future?
Yeah, I have a feeling they're going to ask me a lot more.
Absolutely. And obviously there's a certain sense of satisfaction knowing that you can, be that person that provides that for a nonprofit cause. Now, let's talk a little bit about future development plans. Are there any kind of development plans or changes that, that could, affect oceanfront condos here in our market?
Well, yes. Hilton just announced what was a $100 million project. They're putting a home-to-home suites and a Hilton Garden Inn right there south of Boardwalk.
Wow.
And a lot of people it makes them nervous. It makes me excited because one, there's a reason why Hilton's investing here. That's where I want to invest, where the big boys are investing.
That's right.
Two, most of my clientele is not the Hilton clientele. Most of my clientele is more the medium family household, right? And so, but with Hilton coming, Hilton's gonna pay for advertisers come to Myrtle Beach, and so I have a feeling Hilton, Margaritaville's putting a Margaritaville resort
right next to the Atlantica, right?
Next to Atlantica.
Yeah, I heard about that, guys. I don't know if y'all know about that, but next to the Atlantica, we're actually kind of in between the Atlantica because there's two buildings there. There's an Atlantica North and South Tower, or excuse me, there's an Atlantica building 2 and 3 and Atlantica building 1, and in between there's an empty space there. They're putting a Margaritaville.
They are. So the empty space will be the Margaritaville pool, and then the resort is going to be across the street with a catwalk going over the street. But with those big boys coming here, they're going to pay for advertisers. They're going to bring more crowd in.
Yep.
There's more airlines coming. I think Frontier, Spirit, a couple of Southwest are coming here.
Come on.
Yeah. So I mean, they're adding more flights because they're preparing for the developments.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. We had over 90,600 people that moved here just last year.
Wow.
Myrtle Beach is the #1 fastest growing area out of the entire 150 most populated areas in the entire U.S. for the last 3 years in a row.
Wow.
So it's definitely we're definitely growing here. We're definitely seeing a lot of improvement in people relocating to our market in general. I think it's in large part due to baby boomers. They are the largest and wealthiest generation in America's history. They are retiring at a rate of like 10,000 per day.
Oh wow!
And the trend that I can see is they're moving to Myrtle Beach into Florida. So, let's talk just a little bit through furnishings and interior design. Talk to me about the importance of interior design on your units, and are there any specific furnishing choices that you put in your units to attract, guests?
So my wife is interior designer, so she has a web-based company that she does that. So she gives me tips, but then she gives me tips on things that she thinks will pop in the pictures.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff I'm trying to cookie cutter. So like the couches, every unit I'm trying to get the same couches in, most of my furniture right here, Seaboard furniture right here in Myrtle Beach, they have great furniture and affordable prices.
Absolutely wonderful. And is there any, do you recommend 2 beds over 1 king bed? Kind of.
So I guess it depends on the room, right? Like, so if it's gonna be like a bedroom where the bedroom is oceanfront, definitely I'll do a king bed, right? But if it's a bedroom where it's not gonna get ocean view, I'd put two queens or 2 twins or whatever you can fit in there.
Yeah.
Because that way you can be versatile. Because if somebody prefers 1 king bed, they can put them together if they want.
Yeah. So, I mean, is it all about the number of people you can sleep?
It used to be, and not so much anymore. And so that's where I used to keep all my Murphy beds in there, but now it's more. It's more. They want something that looks nice.
Yeah. So you pulled your Murphy beds out.
Some of my units I did.
Yeah. And so basically now in their place, I mean, are you putting in like desks?
Workstations.
Executive desk, workstation.
Yeah.
So, and again, that's going to give you that really nice look and that really nice feel.
One of my units didn't have a closet, so I made that a closet.
Yeah, wonderful. So, guys, you've heard it right there. Our final question is investment strategies during economic downturns. What are the strategies that you use to navigate economic downturns, or market fluctuations?
Well, I mean, they say buy when everyone else is in fear, right? And so, like, I think, a lot of people are holding off right now till I'm waiting till rates come down. Don't wait till rates come down.
It doesn't. I mean, like, guys, the person paying for the rate are the tourists.
Right. The rate doesn't matter as long as
it really doesn't
cash
matter.
flow. that's why I deal with a lot of investors, and they're return investors, and no matter what the economy is looking like, they're coming back, because the minute they stop investing, they're losing.
Kind of explain just a little bit more about that. What do you mean by the minute they stop investing?
Well, so you only have so many years to keep investing, right? And so most of the investors I work with, every year they want to buy. They don't care where the rates are. They've already gotten a taste, and they know it works.
Yeah.
And I need to every year. They don't even ask me what the rates are. Hey, I want to buy another one. Can I get a pre-approval? Because they're ready to buy their next one.
Because it's making money.
Because it's making money.
Regardless,
right.
Regardless of the rate. So, guys, you heard that there. Now, economic downturns. In the last 8 years that you've owned, have we had any serious downturns that have impacted you besides COVID? COVID?
Yeah.
You got through that just fine.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm sitting on a good amount of equity now just because of the appreciation.
Yep. Now, what's your plans after you pay off your units? What's your plan?
I don't ever plan to pay them off. I think as long as there's equity in them, I will probably continue to pull equity out and reinvest and buy more.
Dude, that's super awesome. It gets me so excited for you, man. So, you've heard that, guys. He doesn't plan on paying his units off because he's got the advantage of buying more and more and more. Now, aren't you concerned about, like, what if the bottom drops out, or we hit some kind of major recession or depression, and then you've got all these units? What are you going to do then?
So the thing is last time when it bottomed out, Airbnb wasn't around, right? Like, you were dependent on the property management companies renting the places out. Those property management companies at the time were keeping 50%. So it made it really tough in 2008. But now, you don't really have to depend on anyone else. If there's an economic downturn, and say you're upside down in the property, which I don't think will ever happen, but if it did happen, just keep renting your unit.
You don't think it'll ever happen being upside down? No. Because they generate that much profit?
Well, I think it's because there's going to be
appreciation.
Not that much appreciation, but with the big boys building Hiltons and Marriotts and knocking down these other guys, the demand is going up.
Yeah, wonderful. All right, guys, so we're going to have just a little bit of fun. I'm going to say a statement, and I want Matt to finish it with what comes to mind. Short-term versus long-term.
Short-term is more money.
All right, Myrtle Beach versus other investment areas in the U.S.
Myrtle Beach is more money.
More money? Myrtle Beach versus Florida.
Myrtle Beach is cheaper.
Cheaper, there we go. Two-bedroom versus an efficiency.
So it's less competition on a two-bedroom and more profitability.
Less competition and more profitability?
I think so. Less
competition. In other words, you feel like there are less two-bedroom units on the market when compared to efficiencies?
For rent,
yeah. And then kind of walk me through, recently you and I were having a conversation. You mentioned that something like two bedrooms bring in double the rental income than a one bedroom.
Right.
Kind of walk through that a little bit.
So my two bedrooms are bringing in about $70,000. My one bedrooms were bringing in, I'd say about $45,000. But the HOA is just a little bit more. The purchase price is just a little bit more. So in reality, when you look at the overall net profit, I feel like the two bedrooms is a sweet spot.
Yeah. Airbnb versus Google Vacation Rentals.
Yeah. It's going to be the next best thing right now. If you can get on Google Vacation Rentals, do it.
North Myrtle Beach versus Myrtle Beach.
So I've had a shift on that because before when I started looking at the numbers, 100% I was Myrtle Beach. Now looking at the numbers, it's kind of even. It's between the cost and the rental market. My next one I might buy in North Myrtle just to test the waters.
Gotcha. So Garden City, Surfside Beach, Pawleys Island, versus North Myrtle Beach, South End versus North End.
I haven't really written the numbers outside of down in like Surfside, but
would you ever go that far south?
I don't know because a lot of my clients, they fly in an Uber to the condos, so that's where It's
super easy having Myrtle Beach, MYR right there.
right.
Yeah. Okay, so east of Business 17, non-oceanfront. We're talking, 1 block from the beach to east of Business 17 versus an oceanfront condo.
So my thing is, you're gonna rent in the summer, but in the winter, when you're trying to make that extra little pop, it's gonna be hard to convince somebody to rent. You're really gonna need a gimmick to get people to rent inland when they can rent a direct oceanfront in the winter.
Airbnb versus VRBO.
So Airbnb, it depends on the property types, right? With condos, I'd say 99% of my bookings come from Airbnb. I am on VRBO, and I don't get many bookings from there, but I have investors that own houses, and they get 99% of bookings through houses. So I think it's just the clientele. Airbnb is more the condotel kind of clientele,
which is oceanfront condos.
right? The oceanfront condos, and VRBO seems to be more of the houses, but I do get clients off of VRBO, so I'm on that platform.
Absolutely. All right, let's get in unit 803. Now you will notice really nice flooring as soon as you come in. Really nice colored paint on the walls, nice spray paint. 2 full-size beds, a fan with a light in the room, which is a huge plus. There is a closet there, as well as bathroom access. Now across the hall you have the second bedroom. Flat screen TV again, 2 nice big full-size beds. An owner's closet, excellent. You always want one of those, especially if you're self-managing, and an actual closet to the left. Nice full-size bathroom, as you can see here. Look at that, guys. Kind of tile. Now you do have a washer and dryer stackable here in the closet, which is really, really cool. Very useful for off-season guests that are going to have longer stays. Granite countertops, as you can see, dishwasher, dual sink, microwave, stove, a refrigerator. This is basically a home away from home. Now immediately to the right, we do have the master, as you can see here. Flat screen, 2 nice big full-size beds, closet right there in the corner, and then access to your own private bathroom. Tub shower combo, as you can see. Well, let's check out that. Oh, and did I forget to mention your own balcony access, which is huge. I can't wait to get to that balcony, guys. There's your dining room. Flows effortlessly into the living room. Flat screen, as you can see, and a massive balcony. Huge balcony, as you can see, guys. Check that out. Looks like somebody's got some live music going on. But this is your moneymaker right here. People want this balcony. They want a big, spacious balcony. Takes you right into the master. All right, guys. Well, this is Brandon signing off with Matt Freeze here with the Shorewise Wealth channel right here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We're on site right here at the Sand Dunes Resort. I'm with Matt Freeze. He has a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom ocean view condo that made $75,000 in gross rental income in 2024. Now his operating expenses were $55,000. That means that he closed $20,000 in profit off only one of his ocean view condos right here at the Sand Dunes Resort. Now, Matt, talk to me about 2-bedroom units. What are you seeing in 2024 for gross rental income?
So I'm right around 70,000. Depending on what
70 grand on a 2-bedroom.
Yeah. The 2 bedrooms, like you said, are the sweet spot. I love the 2 bedrooms. If you're watching the market, they come up available a lot less than any other unit out there.
Yeah.
And just because the demand's higher, like you said, 2 couples, parents, kids. A lot of people are looking for 2 bedrooms.
Okay, so that's sweet spot. All right, so gross rental income is 70. What are your expenses like?
I'd say my operating expenses are, depending on the unit, probably 45 to 50 grand.
So you're pulling how much in profit?
Roughly around 20 grand.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
$20,000 profit per unit is not bad if you own 5 of them. That's $100,000.
Right.
All right. So moving right along, let's talk through 3 bedrooms. What's your gross rental income on a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom?
What's crazy is the numbers on the 3 bedrooms. They're a lot on my 3 bedrooms, and I think there's 2 variables. One, how good do they look, right? The other variable is that they're not direct oceanfront, right? So there's you want to make that unit pop because
it's not oceanfront.
It's not ocean. They're ocean view, not oceanfront. So you really need to make that unit pop.
Yeah. So,
really.
Excuse me. You're saying that if you don't go the oceanfront route and you buy an ocean view unit, when he says ocean view, he means like a side angle view of the ocean.
That's right.
So if you buy an ocean view unit, you have to do a stellar remodel, and you would even say over remodel.
Right. Because right here at Grand Cayman, those units. Oh my God, they're amazing. I've seen the numbers. They do amazing on the 3 bedrooms, right?
But they're also remodeled amazing inside.
Right, and that's the kicker. And that's where my 3 bedroom here at Sand Dunes, it does really good. It did usually year after year did about it was in the 80s, but this year I was a little bit lower, probably high 70s.
Not bad.
My operating expenses are roughly, I'd say, 55,000.
Okay.
So I'm still making over 20 grand on these units.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's but on the nice unit. Now on this year it was a swing. It like usually they're pretty across the board at the same income.
Yeah.
But my uglier units this year, I'd say brought in like 65 to 70 grand.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was a bigger swing this year than any other year.
Now you're talking about market fluctuations. You're noticing some differences between your updated units and your non-updated units, your older dated units. All right, but let's also backtrack for a second. You mentioned that your 3 bedrooms in the year before brought in 80 grand.
You're right.
So, kind of talk me through like the last 8 years. How big of a fluctuation will you see in a given year?
Well, so every year, and I look at my numbers, every year the income was higher, right? And then last year there was a little drop off, and then this year was a little more of a drop off. It's not because Airbnb is crashing. It's not because people, aren't coming to Myrtle Beach. It's not because it's oversaturated. It really is what I believe is because of our economy. People are scared right now.
They're clamming up.
They're clamming up. They're holding on to their cash. And not as many people are traveling. So you really want your unit to book first.
Now, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say just before you're having to lower the price to try to make sure they stay.
Yeah. Unit 401. Here we come. All right. So as you can see, guys, construction has already started. Look at that. We don't have any lights on in here. It is a little bit late. But you can see he's already gotten into the kitchen a little bit. Sorry. Oh, let me get this light on, guys. There we go. You can see he's already gotten into the bathroom, that is, excuse me. These doors are coming off. I can't wait to show you guys the new stuff we're putting up. There's our kitchen. As you can see, here's our great drawings that the contractor did of the kitchen. But let's check out the rest of the unit. All right, you basically have your dining room and your living room, open floor concept. To our right, we have our first bedroom. There isn't much light in here, guys, as we have taken down all the lamps and everything. There's a closet back there, but we've got everything stacked up because we're starting to demo. Now, this is a bathroom. There we go. That is an entrance to the bathroom, as you can see. Kind of Jack and Jilly, but that's our bathroom. There's another closet here with bifold doors. That's our master. Again, we are out of light in this room, just simply due to the fact that we've got everything set up for demo. But you can see we started to clear it out. Let's see if we can get some light on it. There we go. That's the bathroom that comes off the master. show you that real quick. Put some light on. All right, guys, enough talking about it. We're at Unit 401 here in the Tidemaster. Let's get in and check it out. Now, as soon as you walk in, you'll notice multiple doors. We have a bedroom here to our left. We do have a washer and dryer here and a utility closet. We do have a pantry here, but don't miss the foyer. Obviously, nice little setup with a great little closet for keeping all of your beach fun stuff. Now, we're going to go first into our initial bedroom. You'll notice a flat screen TV on the wall. You will notice beautiful molding up top. Again, gorgeous LVP flooring throughout. Brand new fixture. And as you can see, a gorgeous bathroom that has been freshly redone. And you do have a nice stand-up shower here. But let's keep moving. So as I mentioned, there's a utility closet here. We do have a washer and dryer here. And then we have our pantry here, as you can see. Gorgeous kitchen. Now this is beautiful, guys. Brand new cabinets throughout. Brand new stainless steel appliances. Granite countertops. Gorgeous backsplash, as you can see. And we opened up the space, adding, we pulled the cabinets out that were blocking that beautiful ocean view and put some gorgeous recessed lighting in, as you can see. As you walk in, of course, it's open concept flowing from the kitchen to the dining room and then straight on into the living room. But let's get in here and check out our next bedroom. As you can see here, flat screen TV on the wall. Mirror dresser. Another closet over this way. There we go, as you can see. And again, another great bedroom, brand new fixtures, as you can see. Now there is kind of there's a double door here that leads into the bathroom, so you can enter this bathroom this way, or you can come from the main common area and enter this way. And as you can see, nice vanity, mirror, new lighting fixtures, brand new shower doors. We do have a closet here. Again, utility. Now we walk into that main living room area with that beautiful, now I don't want to get to it just yet, but the master is this way with an owner's closet. Let's just check out this view before we go any further. Now you'll notice from this gorgeous balcony, if I understand correctly, this is one of the largest balconies here at Tidemaster. As you can see, it is pretty expansive. It does have an additional entryway from the master bedroom, but look at that view, guys. Look at that view. There is plenty of balcony space for fun with your friends and family, especially during those summer times. Let's take just a quick peek. You see that gorgeous 70-inch TV. Beautiful furnishings. There's our owner's closet. And then let's get into the master. Again, another TV on the wall. Nice flat screen. New fixtures. This is a closet for the master, as you can see. And then gorgeous shiplap, as you can see. Beautiful shower doors. Absolutely stunning fixture. Well, guys, that just about wraps it up for the remodel here at 517 South Ocean Boulevard. As you can see, man, this place turned out very well.
Click the screen now to see the next part of the interview with Matt Freese. All right, guys, so on today's show, we have with us Matt Freese. We're going to dive into all kinds of topics, taking a deeper dive into Myrtle Beach short-term vacation rental, oceanfront condo ownership right here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. You don't want to miss it.
Right.
Any other kind of crazy stories?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Let's see. you know, I off the top of my head, no, but there was so one of the units, the guests checked out, the cleaners went in, and there was blood everywhere. The mattress was saturated with blood. There was blood splatter on the ceiling, blood splatter on the wall. We called the police. The police went out. They roped off the place. They were treating it as a homicide, even though there wasn't a body there, but it was a lot of blood. And so they tracked down the guests who stayed in there, and apparently it was something that happened outside the condo. I guess he got stabbed at the bar or something.
Get out.
And they slept in the bed, but somehow I don't know how it ended up everywhere, but he was okay.
The guy was okay, though.
He was okay.
Dude, that's a little bit freaky.
Yeah,
right?
so the guys had to pay for all the
no doubt.
everything, but
So a handful of stories.
yeah.
Handful of stories. Vandalism isn't something to really be concerned about. Stuff is going to happen from time to time. Somebody might slip and fall and go through a wall. At the same token, you just have the people pay for it.
Right.
Yeah, it's super easy. All right, management and operations. So again, property management company versus do it yourself. For you, it makes a lot more sense to just do it yourself,
Right.
even though you are out of state.
Yeah.
So how many times a year would you think that you come to take care of your units?
You know, it really, I come down because I want to. Like, you know, here recently I've been very busy, so I haven't been down in 6 months. You know, I didn't have to come down. I came down just because the family's coming down later this week. So I figured I'd come down early, get some work done in the condo.
Yeah.
But in reality, you know, I think I could manage it without coming down.
Wow.
And, you know, I have the connections. You know, if I need renovations done for them, people come. You know, it's. If not, I'm resourceful, right?
Yeah,
there's social media networking. You know, social media, you can reach out and find people that can do anything for you down here.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right. So, how do you handle emergencies, and what kind of emergencies have you had in the past?
So, originally I was available 24/7. I'm kind of at a point where, in my listing, I go to bed at midnight. I wake up at 6 a.m. If you have a problem within that window, figure it out.
Yeah.
I would rather not lose sleep over it. I would rather, if they're having a problem, if they can't figure it out, you know, they're going to find another place.
Yeah.
And so this actually happened to me the other night. The guests got to the condo, the combination code wasn't working. They couldn't figure it out. Airbnb, they called Airbnb. My phone was on silent because they were trying to check in at 2 a.m. I didn't, you know, so I didn't hear it ring. So Airbnb put them in another unit. I checked in the next morning. I apologized and said, okay, well, you know, now that my schedule open, I can rebook it. I would rather that happen than get a phone call in the middle of the night at 2 o'clock in the morning saying, hey, why can't I get in this unit?
Exactly.
So,
all right, guys. So let's go ahead and hop into a cash scenario purchase of this unit if it was a double bed unit. Purchase price is $121,900. Again, that gross rental income, I did $2,500 under what the highest did at $25,000. If you only rent this property on Airbnb, there's only a 3% property management fee. That's $750. Your subtotal then is $24,250. Your taxes on this unit were only $983.52. Again, that's $983.52. Guys, that's not per month. That's for the whole year. Your HO6 insurance is $1,000. It's probably going to be a little bit lower, cheaper than that. Your cleaning services, that's $3,600. That's at 30 cleanings based on $120 per cleaning. And then your annualized HOA dues were only $7,392. Now this is going to bring you to a subtotal of $12,975.52. If you subtract that $12,975.52 from the $24,250 up top, it leaves you with $11,274.48. Now, again, I want to throw out that there is a personal property tax you're going to have to pay on an investment property for your internal furnishings. It's marginal in my opinion, so I did not include it here. Electricity, internet, and pest control are included in the HOA fee. And I want to throw out that the AirDNA estimated projected revenue was actually $35,800 with an occupancy rate of 43% for an average daily rent of $229. So guys, all in all, I think you can do very well with these properties. I think you can hit that $35,000 mark. Absolutely. I mean, there are plenty of stellar oceanfront condo units in our market that are in the top 5% that absolutely crush those rental income numbers. Now let's get inside unit 917. All right, as soon as you walk in, you're going to notice a beautiful barnyard door. They've done a great job finishing this place. Bathroom, as you can see. You've got your tub shower combo. We have a little storage closet right here upon entry. We've got a little nook right here, as you can see. Great place for a bar or a coffee maker. You come straight in. You have your kitchen to the left. You've got a bed and a sofa, chair, fireplace, and flat screen TV, and another little table here. This has all of your information. This is typical of how I see things done, guys, for Airbnb. That's what they do. There's a little welcome message. They've got on here the Wi-Fi password and all kinds of information. And it's well done. LVP flooring throughout, as you can see. Nice modern furniture. It is wonderful. I do want to give you a quick little zoom in of the kitchen area. This is everything that you need for a vacation stay. As you can see, little mini fridge, sink, microwave. You can come out on the balcony, and sure enough, you got a beautiful ocean view. There's the rest of your view. And now look down below us and you can see the cool lazy river. This is a well done, excellent Airbnb vacation rental property. All right, so let's work through depreciation. Now this unit has a purchase price of $121,900 divided by 39 years for short-term rentals. It brings you to a taxable income deduction of $3,125.64. Now, guys, I want to throw out there that you can also do a cost segregation study. For you high-income earners, you could be writing off up to $15,000 to $30,000 in a given year by doing a cost segregation study on your oceanfront condo purchase. So if you're interested in more information about that, give me a call. I'll be more than happy to get those questions answered for you. And finally, what you've been waiting for, guys, appreciation on these units. In 2014, if you would have purchased one of these efficiency units, on average, you would have paid $51,000. Now you fast forward to 2024, and that's $119,500. That's as much as $68,500 in appreciation, over 134%, guys. Come on, let's get inside and check out the landmark water park they've got right here. As you can see, guys, really, really cool. They do serve drinks here. Really, really cool. You can see their menu. And as you can see here, they're having lots and lots of fun. And this is what you want to look for when you're investing in an oceanfront condo. You have to get great on-site amenities because that's what's going to create the demand for your unit. Now, of course, your unit has to be updated. It has to be modern. You got to meet a lot of criteria. But if you don't have the on-site amenities, well, families, the 20 to 22 million tourists that visit this market each year, they're not going to rent your unit. And this happens to be the landmark, one of the best as far as cost-effective and and extremely affordable product offerings, if you want to call it that, on our market. You're not going to be able to really go anywhere and find an oceanfront condo that has these types of amenities and pay $121,000. Now that is a really cool bridge that goes from the parking deck. You can see there's the parking deck. It's going to go from the parking deck all the way across to the landmark. And that's the landmark right there across the street. So guys, this is an excellent value. It's probably one of the best values that you're going to find on the beach. Really quick, take a little detour over here. I don't want to get wet. As you can see, pretty cool, guys. Pretty cool. Click the screen now to see the next part of the interview with Matt Freese.